in heaven. I now wanted to turn to some of the allegations which have been made against us. The first one is that we doctored the report in favor of Mafabi. All that he dictated to us what we should write about him. This allegation came from some newspapers, allegedly from Honorable Ibrahim Onganda Semuju, Honorable Elias Lukwago, and Doreen Nyanjura. The MP for Kira, the Lord Mayor of Kampala, and the Deputy Mayor of Kampala, respectively. We believe that those 4 people are entitled to their opinions about us. But it is still their responsibility to prove that we don't have independent minds. This gentleman has introduced me and him. This is a former minister. I'm a former professor, former vice chancellor of Soga University, former MP for Kagoma County in the 7th Parliament. I'm one of the 50 people who rejected the 5 million shillings to remove presidential term limits from the Constitution. I'm the only one who presented the Rwakitura Plan of 1993, where 77 people sat and said that they wanted to rule Uganda for 50 years. And we have gone for only 38 years, so 12 more. If not, another 50 years. Dr. Kizza Besigye, the first president of FDC, whom we have high respects for, described our report as not being worthy the paper it was written on. So according to him, even in the paper we wrote on was useless, not worth reading. He further asserted that, 1, he gave us the serial numbers of the new notes of shillings 300 million, which Honorable Mafabi asked him to keep in his house in Kasangati for FDC election agents. He also said that we did not resolve the unresolved data money, and that we did not inquire into the current accounts and the financial records of the party using forensic methods. That in Honorable Mafabi's statement to us, he never mentioned the shillings 280 million which he gave to Honorable Amriat. He also said that we parroted A parrot is that bird which
Nkusu.
we parroted Honorable Mafabi's lies that the shillings 300 million was for party agents. And that lastly, he said that we selected and inaccurately recorded what he told us. Our response is as follows. Our terms of reference advised us not to engage in witch hunting games. If Honorable Mafabi had deposited the shillings 300 million elsewhere, if, for example, he had hidden it in my house, would I have gone out to say, I have this money? Would Dr. Besigye have known?
No.
And initiated this saga? Additionally, Dr. Besigye never disclosed to us the name of his informer from State House about the dirty money, as he called it. It is also true that Honorable Muriat admitted to us that he indeed obtained shillings 280 million from Mafabi for his presidential campaign. Honorable Mafabi was authorized to borrow money by the party, for the party. And Honorable Mafabi complied. He also tendered some bank papers which he showed that he withdrew money from his own bank account in Chambonga. On the other hand, Dr. Besigye did not prove to us that money came from State House. I think according to the Monitor today, Dr. Besigye has shown the serial numbers of the new notes of money which he recorded, which he says came from State House. But it is also true that the State House pays money to its clients, suppliers of this or that, goods and services, and that money still ends up in commercial banks. It is also true that the money that Nandala took to Dr. Besigye was not the same money that Dr. Besigye gave back to FDC headquarters. The other ills we identified, we said that Dr. Besigye's refusal to campaign for Amuriat in 2020 to 21 disadvantaged other FDC candidates. But in his lengthy report here, he did not make any comment on that matter. Nor did he respond to our observations on the need for the party to continue participating in elections, while it can also organize other activities to pressurize the government to bring political and socio-economic reforms. He did not say in this report, this paper, publication, anything about the growing disagreements between the Katonga group and the Najjanankumbi. But Katonga is not independent. It's not a breakaway group. It is a part and parcel of Najjanankumbi. Najjanankumbi is in charge of implementing the work plan of the party. Our recommendations to make FDC stronger. We made 8 recommendations to help the party grow. We stressed the following needs. We said there is need for reconciliation, tolerance, grooming younger leaders, amending the FDC constitution in some parts, developing party alliances in Uganda. In Kenya, for example, they usually have 2 presidential candidates only. In the last election, Ruto had several political parties which united and voted for him. Raila Odinga also had 3 or 4 political parties in Azimio alliance which voted for him. We have not yet reached there in Uganda because we have had military governments from 1966 to present. The day we will also think about forming political alliances to fight against dictatorial rule in this country, we will thank God. We also recommended that a book should be written on the history of FDC and the people who have contributed to the party, to the growth of the party, should be highlighted. And we believe that President Besigye should be highlighted in that book because of the sacrifices he has made for Uganda and for the party. That is why we are sad that the president is undermining his own legacy. And we want to appeal to him on our bended knees that he does not do that. We also said that management of African opposition parties is no easy task. Not everybody in the FDC is a manager or can manage an institution. Yes, I have been a vice chancellor of a university. But if you put me in a political party to manage it, I may not be able to manage. And we also, there is a book I have come with here. No, it is here. In our report here, we showed the books that we read to prepare this report. And let me mention them. Not a book and some books and papers. There is already a paper called Forum for Democratic FDC,